I was thinking over the weekend how things have really changed in the last year in American politics in so many ways. Not only the perception of the United States around the world, and not only sort of role of the U.S. in really important discussions about the climate and about authoritarianism and press freedoms and free press and so many other areas, but also how much things have changed in terms of the president of the United States. And what I mean by that is that a year ago, we had the Trump-Russia investigation in this sort of earlier phase. We had a sort of obviously bogus House Intelligence Committee investigation, which we knew was never going to find anything. It was, after all, led by Donald Trump's friend, Devin Nunes, who was running to the White House to keep Trump apprised of what it was that that committee was doing. Now, as we are almost at the end of 2018, we're learning that almost every aspect of the president's life, before being candidate Trump, during the campaign, during the presidency, every aspect of Donald Trump's life may contain criminality. And it is the presidency which has exposed that. And now he and his family and his inner circle are all under investigation for possible criminality. Remember that before being candidate Trump, we now have learned that Donald Trump may have been involved in the money laundering of Russian and Saudi money through real estate deals, particularly in Manhattan, New York. Donald Trump was employing undocumented immigrants, both by proxy through the undocumented immigrants employed by contractors that Donald Trump worked with, and also even directly. We've now learned that multiple undocumented immigrants were working at Donald Trump's New Jersey golf club at minimum that we know of specifically. Shady banking deals with Deutsche Bank under very strange circumstances that Robert Mueller is looking into. Those are examples of possible criminality by Trump before he even decided to run for president of the United States. Then we get to the campaign, where there is a whole slew of additional possible criminality. Illegal coordination with Russia, receiving things of value from foreign countries for the purposes of winning an election, in his case, the 2016 presidential election. Directing felonious payoffs via his attorney, Michael Cohen, to mistresses, possibly in conjunction with AMI, the parent company of the National Enquirer, and many others. And then we also get to phase three, which is during the presidency and even transitioning to the presidency. Potential crimes now around fraud regarding Donald Trump's inauguration and donations that were received for it. That is now being investigated. Of course, we've been talking for months now, obstruction of justice of the Trump-Russia probe, firing all sorts of people, including James Comey. Witness tampering, both implicitly and explicitly via private and public means, trying to influence the testimony of individuals within the context of that investigation. Emoluments violations, dignitaries from around the world choosing to stay at Donald Trump's hotel in Washington, D.C. to ingratiate themselves with him, of course, funneling money directly to his personal pocket, since that is one of his businesses. And you know what, Pat? It's not even just Trump. So we've got possible Trump criminality before, during, and after he was candidate Trump. We also now have Trump's family increasingly pulled into this. Donald Trump Jr. expecting an indictment, considering heading to Canada so that he's gone when the news breaks. His business associates, others from the Trump organization, his advisors and attorneys, cabinet members are dropping like flies. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke is bailing under a huge black cloud of misuse of taxpayer money. As usual, 10 cabinet secretaries in total have now left, more than Obama and Bush and Clinton lost in 2 years. 60% of Trump's aides have left in the first 2 years. Outrageous turnover rate, more than the last 5 presidents by far. So this is now, Pat, every aspect of Donald Trump's life, even now possible criminality on the behalf of Donald Trump's father has come to light. Not that that would be prosecutable. The guy died long ago. This is not the best decision for Trump. Has it been to become president of the United States?
Not a good decision at all, and I don't know if he would take it back if he could. And many of these possible crimes we knew about before he was even elected president. That's why we thought there was something shady with the fact that he wouldn't release his tax returns. We knew there was some sketchy ties between him and the Saudi Arabians or him and the Russians. And you can't also forget the serial sexual assault and harassment of women. Many of those cases, I'm sure, border on criminality. So this was all kind of baked in, and the American public knew about this before voting for him. That's why I'm kind of concerned that if something major comes out, that it won't change things, because this is already baked into the cake.
And you have now legal experts, even one on Fox News, saying that Donald Trump is effectively an unindicted co-conspirator in at least the crimes of Michael Cohen, because he directed Michael Cohen to commit those felonies. The only element of this that's out of place is that the devoted Trumpists and the devoted right-wing media pretend that this is not happening. If we can say anything positive about Donald Trump, it's that very few people of his profile would actually survive this onslaught. He shouldn't be able to survive this given the rampant criminality that's been exposed, but he might because of a combination of the power of the Oval Office and incumbency and the fact that he still has committed ideological hardcore right-wing media allies that are pretending that nothing is going on, because this should have destroyed him a long time ago, and it still might. We don't know just yet. And part of it, of course, is that there are two justice systems. I've been talking about this for years. We have a justice system for the wealthy and the powerful, and then a justice system for everybody else. Lastly, beyond all of this, just as a final coda, we haven't even gotten into the litany of state-level charges that state attorneys general are going to be looking into. We've heard that Maryland and Washington, D.C. are going to look into emoluments violations by Trump at the state level, not pardonable. New defamation lawsuit against Trump is back from Summer Zervos, that former Apprentice contestant. That is now happening. New York state level investigation into Trump using his charity like a personal slush fund. Truly stunning. And the most stunning thing in the end, the most damaging thing in the end, in terms of what it says about the American justice system, will be if Donald Trump is able to get out unscathed. And he may well. And that would be the real tragedy here.